Hello again. Here it is a second video where I'm trying to describe a situation in which I have fixed a problem the client did not know how to do, right? So this seems like a simple issue, how to debug inside the browser the web application. A big company I was working for, they didn't know exactly how to do it. That was probably a team of 40, 50 people working on the client side. And in terms of productivity, this is quite bad, right? Because you couldn't really understand easily what's happening without being able to go through the code. And I've seen this issue and I said I'm going to look into it. And try to understand what's happening and try to fix it. So what I will show right now, it's actually a Word document, and I have obfuscated and changed a few things into the document. So you're not going to understand too much from it, and this is just to respect the confidentiality agreement to make sure that we are not sharing any information particularly to the client, right? But what I'm interested actually for you to see, that is not really a trivial problem, and in order to figure it out and fix it, there are a number of steps and you have to go through a lot of hoops and try to understand what exactly you need to fix and why that was not actually working. So you can see starting from the project, how they were configured, and different tools they are using to create the build. So going further, you're going to see that I was actually trying to solve the problem in different ways. So I was trying to allow the client to debug using different applications. So debugging the Angular project with TypeScript, different configuration which you have to do in all of those packaging tools, starting with the tsconfig and so on and so forth, right? So this is how you have to start the application to debug in VS Code. Another implementation, different settings to do the same thing with Visual Studio. You can attach to the project some configuration which were a little bit advanced using the Webpack. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We are doing good with the time. So some other configuration in Angular JSON. I have done this a few years ago, 5 years ago, so I'm looking at it and a lot of stuff looks new to me, even though I was actually fixing. Potential improvement and goal. This is where actually the goal has been achieved and I was able to debug the application. Some changes the clients need to do into their scripting and packaging in order to make this happen. So this is not extraordinary for you to understand exactly what was done. At the time, I did not even write an article for myself on my blog site to try to create a generic article and explain the problem. And several years later, it's even a little bit harder to figure it out. But it is a situation which actually really help a lot of people and improve the productivity for this company. A different scenario, let's talk quickly about it, was with CIBC, right? So in here, one of the tasks which I was doing for them, I have created an application which was calculated the accrued interest for hedge accounts, and the data was aggregating over 7 years. And I like a lot the performance issues and performance implementation at the database level, and I figure out that all the calculation has to be done, can be done actually at the database level without communicating too much with the server in .NET, right? So this is what I've done. And I had implemented as well a process of archiving data, which I was receiving after a number of months, and everything was configurable and so on. So after deploying the application in production, it was working consistently in completing in less than 10 to 15 minutes. And that was happening even 1 year and a half after I have implemented. Different developers, they did a similar process, but their communication between the server and database was very chatty. All the work was happening at the database level. After 1 year was timing out 90 minutes in production. And the issue was actually, even worse, because there were processes happening at night, trying to rebuild the indexes at the database level, and this was making the problem even harder to understand and to debug and investigate. So I was able to fix that, and it was a very simple fix actually. There are joins happening against tables with millions of records, and that can be done much easier. They are needing only 1,000 records at night, right? And each call to the database doing those joins takes like 500 milliseconds, around 2,500 calls. So you can understand all the problem where it was coming from. 5 minutes 50. Thank you very much for your time. A little bit longer than I was expecting this video, but still pretty close. So thank you very much. I hope it is actually something interesting you are listening to. Thank you. Bye.